12 minutes after 8 o'clock, it's -5 degrees outside our studios here in Halifax, but promising to be a pretty nice day with some sunshine and temperatures above the zero mark. You know, almost all of them do it. Throwing temper tantrums is something kids do, and I know mine does it once in a while, but what do you do about it? Well, Carolyn Humphreys is here to tell us how to deal with it this morning. Jill?
Good morning, Carolyn. How are you this morning?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Great. Now, as a child psychologist, do you have the magic answer about what to do when your child's throwing a tantrum in the middle of a crowded mall?
Well, I don't know if I have the whole answer, but certainly one of the things that kids need to do is know that they can't get away with it by tantruming, that they can't get what they want. One of the things to avoid tantrums is something that I think about is to try and set up before you go out with a child what the kinds of conditions are on their behavior, and being really clear about, you know, you have not just saying you have to be a good girl or good boy, but you have to hold mommy's hand or you have to do this, and trying to establish some times when, other than doing the shopping with the adults, there's time for the children to maybe go and look at toys or do something, and almost setting it up for kids so that they know that this will happen and then something else will happen. But the tantrums still happen.
And I want to know now, you say let them know sort of that there'll be a little time for them at the mall, because I've taken my stepsons to toy stores, and about my first trip I was like, oh, this is a big mistake, because once in there they are mesmerized, and then they want something, and that's sort of... So are there other things you can do?
Well, there's other things you can do that maybe, you know, if there's a pet store, just going into the pet store for a few minutes. Or bringing a little snack and going and sitting and having a snack. You don't even have to buy something at the mall. You can just bring something. So those kinds of things. And just having a time, a quiet time for the children for a few minutes.
Okay, so they don't feel like they're being dragged along on mommy or daddy's trip.
That's right.
All right, now what if, though, your child is in the throes of one of those yelling, screaming, throw myself on the floor
Well,
fits?
I think the best thing to do is just leave the child alone. I mean, that's always the best thing in a tantrum, is to just ignore the child. It's really hard, and not walk away, but just ignore it. Really hard in a mall, because of course all the other people are watching, right?
Look at that parent. What's that parent doing?
What's wrong with his child? What's wrong with his parent? And kids know it. I don't know how, but they know it very early on that this is the place to do it.
Because they'll embarrass the heck out of you.
Yeah. So it's really important to just ignore it and try and wait it out. You know, and for most kids it will end fairly quickly. If you've got a child who has tantrum before and you're worried about it happening again, it's important to also be willing to leave the store if the child continues a tantrum, or to leave the whole mall and say it's time to go.
Even
and
though you still have 15 things on your list.
That's right. Let the child know that ahead of time, that if this behavior happens, you may have to leave. And follow through. That's the other thing, is parents often make a threat, or they say this is going to happen,
and then
but then they don't follow through. So the kids know, well, this isn't something I have to take seriously.
All right. Carolyn Humphreys, we thank you.
You're welcome.
Kurt, did you take notes?
I've taken notes, and I did exactly as she suggested. I just stood there and smiled at everybody gathering around my child.
Sold tickets.
It was very nice. Coming up on 15 minutes after 8 o'clock, shaping up to be a pretty good day right across the region. Newfoundland, the only spot where there won't be any sunshine today. Here's what it looks like in your corner of the region this morning. Fog in Moncton and St. John as well. -4 degrees, -6 with some fog in Fredericton. -8 degrees under partly cloudy skies in Bathurst. Some cloud, and -5 in Halifax this morning. Yarmouth has some fog, -3. Fog and -2 in Charlottetown. Deer Lake cloudy and -3, as is Gander, and St. John's cloudy right across Newfoundland this morning. It's such an honor. That's how an emotional Mark Tewksbury reacted being named the Canadian Press Male Athlete of the Year in this country. The Olympic gold medalist from Calgary beat Montreal Expos outfielder Larry Walker and Pittsburgh Penguins star Mario Lemieux in voting by sports editors and sportscasters. Tewksbury won gold in the 100-meter backstroke at the Barcelona Games. Remember that race? It was an exciting one. A couple of cities in the region could soon have franchises in the fledgling National Basketball League. A deal could be finalized within the next week or so to place NBL teams in Sydney and Halifax. Team owners met in Montreal over the weekend to look at plans for the 7-team league. Halifax, already a proven basketball town. Fans in Sydney are interested.
I think initially it'll receive some support. What is going to happen over the long run, I think, it's hard to tell, but I'd certainly look forward to it.
We have a lot of people that come in here that go for basketball cards, and they're really interested in it. I think it'll be good.
Myself personally, I think I would support a pro team on a regular basis. I think it would be a good thing for the area.
As well as providing pro basketball to Cape Breton, Sydney Mayor Manning MacDonald says the cash generated by an NBL franchise will give the economy a boost. An announcement is expected soon, and the new 7-team league could begin as early as May of next year. The Calgary Flames remain one of the hottest teams in the NHL. Mike Vernon kicked out 33 shots for the shutout, the 5th of his career. As Calgary beats Detroit, Flames lost just 1 of their last 7. The Wings, on the other hand, have 2 wins in their last 10 outings. Miami remains in the thick of things in the AFC East. The Dolphins beat the LA Raiders 20-7 on the Monday Night NFL game to improve to 9-5. Buffalo leading the division at 10-4. With the loss, the Raiders fall to 6-8. And a single game in the NBA last night. New York shut down Denver 106-89, sending the Nuggets home from a 10-day road trip. No wins, 5 losses. Charles Smith led the Knicks in scoring with 23 points. Cloudy skies this morning, but clearing over most areas by this afternoon, and temperatures are expected to be a little milder as well. In Halifax at 8:17, it's still cloudy and still -5 degrees.
And I still don't have those lights working.
We can't figure out what's wrong with those?
I can't figure out what's wrong with them. I've changed, well, I haven't changed all the bulbs. I've got a few more to go.
How do you know which ones you've changed and which ones you haven't?
I left one with a little red tip in as a marker. So there.
Good thinking.
Yes, when we come back, we'll be checking back with Scott Boyd, see if they have another version. Maybe they should do the 2002 version of
That's going to
Jill's
become
Country.
a hit, I think. Jill's Country.
Could be, and all thanks to Kurt Hahn. Don't go away. We're back after this.
Audition show, and this was my audition. Okay, what was it? Okay, don't tell me. Oh yeah, okay.